In this video, I will be answering question 3. The patient's elective procedure was scheduled at the wrong site. How do I change the organisation or location? So for this scenario, we will say that the patient's elective procedure was scheduled for Bradford Royal Infirmary when it should have been scheduled for Bradford Royal Infirmary Maternity Department. Now, the issue this causes is on the day of the intended admission, we will be in capacity management, and what should have happened is EPR will run a report for all patients due the following day, and it will automatically put the patient onto the transfer list, so that on the day of the admission, we would simply need to find the patient from the transfer list and electively admit them through there. Now, for capacity management, we will of course be looking at the maternity department, which means that our patient, having been scheduled for BRI, will not be on the maternity transfer list, preventing us from electively admitting them. Now, to correct this, we simply need to transfer the waiting list from BRI to BRI maternity. To begin this, we will need to be in scheduling appointment book, and the first step we need to do is cancel the current elective procedure. So I'm going to come into the appointment inquiry form, commonly known as the I, and from there I'm going to navigate into the Person tab. Ensure the inquiry is set to Standard Patient Inquiry, and then we are needing to select the patient. We are needing to come into the patient box, and using the ellipsis icon, this will load up with the patient search window. Searching by NHS or MRN number. Alternatively, if you don't have this, you can search by demographic information. Pressing search, it will load the patient in the right-hand side pane, where you can then confirm the demographic details that you have the correct patient. Once you've confirmed you have the correct patient, press OK. And from there, we will then need to enter the start date and the end date, which are the parameters of the appointment criteria that we wish to load up. So for example, if I wanted to just simply see appointments from today onwards, I would ensure that start date is today and the end date would be left blank. So this will search for any appointments from today into the future. I'm going to press find. As we can see, it has loaded up a couple of appointments, but the one that I am interested in is the one for Meyerson, Brim Maternity Theatres for Janet Davies. Now, the way you'll know if this is incorrect is if you come to the icons located at the top of the screen, and we are looking for the patient management icon, which looks like a little man on its side. This will load up a list of all of your encounters. So locating the encounter in question, it is this one here for obstetrics, and we can see the facility is currently for BRI when it should have been Brim. So I'm going to cancel out of this one, and to correct this, as I said, we need to cancel the current procedure that is scheduled. So I'm going to right click onto this and select cancel. Do we wish to send a letter? I'm not going to send a letter, as this is just a correction. Coming into the offer tab, patient initiated, I'm going to say no. And for the reasons, we are going to be putting in other hospital reason. RTT is not applicable, and we don't want to remove from the waiting list. In the comments field, if you can ensure you put the comments incorrect facility of BRI updated to Brim. Once you've pressed OK, this will be cancelled. The next step, we will need to come in to PM office, and from the conversation band on the left hand side, we need to locate the transfer waiting list conversation. Once you've found the transfer waiting list, double click, and once again you will need to search for the patient. Once you've located the patient, ensure you have the correct encounter highlighted. Mine once again is the obstetrics inpatient waiting list. Highlight that and press OK. Once you're in the next window, transfer reason, we'll select other. Receiving site is going to be Bradford Royal Infirmary Maternity. And receiving building will pre-populate. Once that is entered, press OK, and that has now been transferred to the correct organisation. So what we need to do now is return to the standard patient inquiry window that we had open previously, which should still be open down at the bottom of the screen. and locate the appointment that we have just cancelled. All we're going to do is right click onto that and undo that cancellation. It will say this action will reschedule the appointment back. To confirm, press OK to that. And the system will pop that into a confirmed state. So it will show as a reschedule, as you can see here, but it is now still correctly scheduled for the 22nd of April, as it was previously. But if we double click onto this booking, it will state here that the facility is now showing as Brim. If you don't have the facility in your screen here, this can actually be changed via preference settings. Just make sure that you're hovering over these tabs at the top and right click to select your preferences, and anything on the left hand side can easily be added in using the move button, and that'll pop it across to the right hand side as we've got here. Once you press OK, that will be visible.
Thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions relating to any of the processes covered within this video, you can contact any member of the team on the email addresses provided. Alternatively, you can email epr.dqtraining@bthft.nhs.uk. This email account is monitored by the entire EPR training team and it is monitored daily.